A suggested Bleacher Report trade on social media said Ron Hollins, Duncan Robinson, Isaiah Stewart, a 2027 first round draft pick, and a 2031 first round swap for Kawhi Leonard. Now, there's rumors going around that Kawhi Leonard contract with the Clippers could be voided. He could, have to go play somewhere else because allegedly Steve Ballmer, who's a Detroiter, for people who don't know, Steve Ballmer is from Detroit. Byron Allen, the brother that bought the Weather Channel, is from Detroit, and also the owner of the Miami Dolphins is a Michigan alum. Stephen Ross is also from Detroit. So Detroit got quite a few billionaires from there. Very historic city. Maybe I might just start, talking about the history of Detroit again. I think a lot of people don't know that. I did a video, and it's still pinned on my X account for this channel about the time that Saddam Hussein received the key to the city of Detroit. Detroit is very historic. I think people real quick don't understand the history of Detroit or understand why Detroit teams don't get a fair shake or why Detroit don't get a fair shake is because, black people overtook the city of Detroit. And I've talked about this and and spots here and there about Albert Cobo and it's a lot of people who don't know that. Albert Cobo is why they changed Cobo Hall. And that's one of the things about kind of this progressive society of everybody look at like cancel culture is bad. Cancel culture is temporary for most people. But cancel culture also kind of like got them to change Cobo Hall's name because people knew what Albert Cobo was about. But nonetheless, I've talked about it before, and I maybe talk about it in a smidget here and a smidget there. Put all those in a series, a playlist series, right? So, for one, no Kawhi Leonard. He don't want to be nowhere but California. He want to be closer to his home in San Diego. I like Kawhi. You don't know how much Kawhi got left. He's hooping right now, but we all just on the edge of our seats ready for him to get injured. I mean, that's the expectations. He balling right now, but it's temporary. It's like you ever watch My Hero Academia? How before old boy transferred his powers over to my man's, he only can have his superpowers in short bursts. That's Kawhi. That's Kawhi Leonard. That's Kawhi Leonard. And you buying on Kawhi Leonard, you don't know how much Kawhi Leonard got left. And that's a problem. You don't know how much he got left. And, at the end of the day, it would be assumed that Kevin Durant has more left than Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much just, the assumption. He hooping right now, but how long? To me, it's a bad deal. If I'm gonna go get a veteran and I'm gonna take a risk on the veteran like that, it'll be a guy like Kyrie Irving because he's still younger. And him coming off an injury, the asking price can't be as steep as this for an older Kawhi Leonard. Now, do I have concerns about Cade Cunningham meshing with these? No. Cade Cunningham is a Swiss Army knife. He can adapt. And I'm gonna do a video on my main channel talking about Sean Marion, talking about positionless basketball. So I don't know when I'm gonna drop that video. But once you look at it, Cade understands his position in basketball. He can play with the ball, without the ball. He can catch and shoot. So whoever you put next to Cade, as long as they just not dysfunctional mentally, I think it'll work. I think in theory it could be a great fit, but how much longer you got from Kawhi? That's the question. I don't want to trade Isaiah Stewart, so that's and then also you trade Duncan Robinson. You don't have the fortune of trading away shooting. So that's the thing about it. You can't trade it. You're gonna have to find more shooting. And that's the crazy thing about it. You got to find shooting. So, honestly, that's a bad deal. I would literally trade the bare minimum for Kawhi Leonard. I'm not giving up anything valuable for Kawhi Leonard. Maybe a first-round draft pick protected. That's it. I'm not trading anything of value for a guy that don't have long in his career. I don't care how well he playing. He was playing well one year. They was in the playoffs. They was busting Phoenix ass. He was playing well, and then he got injured. So yeah, we can have those conversations. Like, no, like y'all literally will have to give him to us for free. You don't know how much longer he gonna be. You know, he gonna be good or physically able to do it. On top of that, he don't want to be in Detroit. He want to be in Southern California. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we can have these conversations all we want about brother Kawhi. I love his game. I like him, but no, it's a hard no for me. His perfect place was in Toronto. He didn't want to be in Toronto. Bye. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. If we talking about Kyrie, if you want to have a conversation about Giannis, or even a conversation about, you know, a low value pickup like Paul George after the season, I would have that conversation because it's not a risk. But Kawhi Leonard is just no. Unless they giving it to us for the low. That's just the God honest truth. It was the same conversation we had about Anthony Davis. You know, not durable. Why take a risk on that? Unless I feel like I can help him with his durability. But guess what? If LeBron can't help you, who can? If LeBron can't help you, who can? These dudes continue to get injured and nobody's talking about, like, let's lift some fucking weights. Let's lift some fucking weights. Let's put some weight on. Let's bench press. Let's squat. You know what I'm saying? Let's deadlift. Let's do some good mornings. These dudes come back every year and they don't look like they do anything. LeBron still look physically better than most of the dudes in the NBA. Like literally, what are they doing in the off season? It's one thing if they looking like that and they staying healthy. Okay, cool. They keep doing what you're doing. NBA players used to look like Detroit's own Kevin Willis. Look how strong and muscular those NBA players used to look. And they used to play. Now you see guys they built like Harden, built like Luka. Like you don't even see no muscles on the floor no more. Dwight Howard and LeBron was a dying breed. What are they? And I always seen that about hoopers didn't want to lift weights. And I'm like, why not? Like I never understood why not. Especially if you're not healthy. What do you think? What do you think muscle is? Muscle is armor to protect your ligaments and your bones. That's it. I don't understand that, but it is what it is, man. But it's a hard no for me. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Peace.